It's a very strange concept, isn't it? Taking everyday chores that we tend to avoid to play computer games and turning them into gamified experiences so we can play these chores in our games. It's a bit mental, isn't it? And yet, these type of games are really doing very well. I have a friend who, when he's between meetings at work, he'll do a bit of power washing. And I have another friend who loves to do these games where you're unpacking things for like a move. And I did move house recently. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. I will never ever do that again. I will die in the house I currently live in to avoid doing that. And yet, this friend loves to do that game based on that activity. So I wouldn't say there's like an official name for this type of game. I think the nearest one is cleaning simulators, but that's one specific type of game within, I'd say, this very loose genre. So yeah, you've got cleaning simulators like Power Washer, which I already mentioned. You've got these renovation and house flipper type games where you're moving into a house or renovating a house for someone else to move into. Then you've got these kind of like cozy games. There's one called Tiny Glade, which I played a few months ago, and that is, oh, it's such a chilled out, lovely experience. I highly recommend it. But like most games in this genre, you're not really doing it for the actual rewards. You're doing it for the sake of doing it, and the developers have the task of making that activity fun and engaging and feel good to do. And then you've got the more life simulation games like The Sims, which are much better known and have much more gamified, tangible things you have to do, like keep your Sims alive or find them a job, for example. So Hozy on the Steam page says, restore a forgotten neighborhood through your favorite hobby, one cozy room at a time. In Hozy, clean, paint, and decorate abandoned homes with satisfying mechanics and intuitive controls. Enjoy the little details as you interact with tools, items, and furniture to bring each space back to life. Now this comes from Tiny Build, which are well known as a really good indie publisher, and the developer is Come On Studio. So, as in life, first impressions are very important with a game, and the game makes a very good first impression for what it's trying to do. So the game's setting, if there is such a thing, is on like a neighborhood, it looks like an American styled street or like a suburban area, and each apartment has a different theme. So the first apartment is a very standard room. You've got wooden floors, you've got like walls, windows, and you just start renovating. So the first job is to paint the walls, or you can clean the floors, or pick up all the rubbish on the floor. So it's obviously been abandoned and been left decrepit for quite a while. So this is your first taste of how the mechanics feel in this game, and they are very well done. They feel very tactile. Each one has like a unique sound that goes with it, so you can not only see what you're doing, but also hear the interaction happening in front of you. And you just left click and drag your mouse, and the rubbish and the trash will just be absorbed with like wonderful physics into your hands. Well, you don't actually have hands, you just got like a mouse pointer. And yeah, move it over, drop it in the bin, and do it again until you're 100% finished. There is a nice little tick box, like a handwritten note in the right hand corner, like a to-do list. And once you've finished, the game will let you know by just ticking it off. And then the next job, you can either paint the walls or you can clean the floor. And with each task, you're given a special tool. So obviously cleaning the floors, you've got a mop, and away you go. And again, there's a lovely little sound effect. There's a wonderful little animation that when you go over the wooden floors, if you've cleaned wooden floors yourself, you know that for a couple of minutes they're kind of like wet and there's a bit of a sheen. And the game does that really well. So it's that visual feedback all the time for what you're doing. Then, once you've got the place spick and span, it's time to start unpacking the actual boxes, getting the furniture out, tables, chairs, items, phones, clocks, paintings, whatever you've got. Get it all out of the boxes, and you've got to place it where you want to place it. And this is where you might find the more creative types finding enjoyment out of this part. You can arrange the rooms in whatever way you want. There's no guidance, there's no like flashing icons on the floor or tiles. It literally is wherever you want to put things. Then once you've got everything in place and you're happy with the room, you can click finish. And at this point you're prompted to start taking some pictures maybe, add them to your Steam page and maybe alter the angles, get some close-ups. There's even some filters to make the picture look a bit more old-fashioned or black and white, just whatever you want. I think sound in games is often quite underappreciated on how important it is to bind it all together. And in Hozy, I've already mentioned the interactive sounds, but also the background sound, the way you can hear a dog bark, or you can hear that low hum of a distant road, or maybe some children playing after school in the next street. It all just helps immerse you into that experience. And yeah, the developers have really paid attention to this, and that definitely needs mentioning. We sometimes talk about entering like a Zen state or your lizard brain switching on, and I think this is one of them games where that really does encourage that type of just very chilled out, not really thinking too much about it, just pushing the stuff around, placing things in place, and just being very chilled out. If that's the type of game you're looking for, I would definitely recommend Hozy, as it is one of the better examples of this genre. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I think you've seen enough to decide whether it's for you. If it is for you, I hope you really enjoy it. And at £12.49, you really can't go wrong. This is really a good price point for a game like this. It's not too much money, and you can give it a go. And obviously with Steam, if after 2 hours you're not happy with it, you can refund it. But I think most people that pick this up will keep it, because it really is a fun little game just to chill out with and play around with the different rooms. So yeah. If you're still here, thank you very much for watching the entire video. It helps the algorithm immensely, and I would love a like, and most of all, like a comment. So my next review will probably be Mixtape, and then shortly after that, finally, we're going to get access to Subnautica 2 on Early Access. I cannot wait to give this a go. This is one of my favourite games of all time. But yeah, more on that next week. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. Hope you're all well, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.